Good evening. This is vk3sl and welcome to the late night program. And testing here on 160, not on UHF at the moment. We seem to be having a few problematics with UHF. Not quite sure what's going on. Did a couple of prelim tests, but it warrants further investigation. And I can hear Frank's there.
Good evening.
And hello to you, Frank. How are you?
Very well, thank you. And you?
Yeah, great, thanks. All fine. I was sort of had one of those sort of slightly existential wake-up experiences where I had a little dream. I had a little lie down just before, and a big day today. We've done a lot of travelling, coming back from Inverloch. It was a lovely week. We've had a fantastic week, actually. But I unfortunately lay down, fell asleep on the bed with the electric blanket on.
Very easily done.
It is easily done, and I woke up in a very confused state, and that was only about 20 minutes ago. So I'm sort of, when you wake up and you wonder, who am I? Where am I? What's this thing called life? It's a strange sensation.
Yes.
Yeah, so, I've quickly had about 3 glasses of water and, trying to rehydrate. But, other than that, everything is fine. And with you, Frank, have you had a good week?
Yes, thank you. Very good. Sorry, I just had a distraction.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yes, I did. I had a great week. I had a very good luncheon at the Old Timers.
Oh, yes, indeed. That was on Wednesday, wasn't it?
Yes, it was.
Yeah, okay.
Went really well.
Yeah, great.
Thought I might see us today, but he didn't make it.
Yeah.
I caught up with the Cues.
Oh, very good.
And Nigel Boots.
Yes.
And who else? Oh, I sat next to Drew, which was a great
tremendous.
pleasure.
Great. Oh, that's lovely to hear. It would have been a good occasion.
And the guest speaker was none other than Mr. Big.
Oh, really? Fantastic.
Talking about the early days of 3AR and the ABC in a general sense.
Oh, well, that would have been terrific. Would have been most interesting. Wow. Oh, that's great to hear. I wonder if anyone recorded it. I'd love to hear about that.
Yeah, I suspect maybe yes. Don't know.
Okay. Oh, well, that's tremendous. All right. Well, good. And of course, you had your family thing last Sunday, I think, since we spoke.
Yeah, that went beautifully. Yes, lovely.
Nice
lovely
to
thing.
hear. Good one. All right.
The only other minor news is that Tom, when he came to my house, took some videos.
Oh, yes.
I didn't realise he had at the time.
Yeah.
But no matter. Of me operating and stuff like that.
Okay.
And Chris built them into his Saturday night program.
Oh, really?
Very, very kind of him.
Okay, fair enough.
I understand it's now up on Dave's website, according to Mr. EKH, to Mr. Clint.
Oh, I see.
Good evening, Clint.
Right. Okay.
I've just been speaking to Clint.
Okay. Yeah.
He's listening.
I usually do listen to the last part of Clint's program, but not today. But okay. All right. We'll look into that. We'll find out what's there.
Indeed.
Okay. Now, I do just check with you. The signal's getting through to you okay?
Yes, they're fine.
Oh, that's good to hear.
20 over 9, the usual signal.
It looks like it's settled down. There was some sort of anomaly on the SDR, I noticed, but I think it's ironed itself out now. So, yeah, something was into mod or something. But
no, it seems fine now.
I think it's okay. Yes, it looks better on the screen now, but before it was a bit squiggly wiggly. And it sounded okay on the mod here. I've had to switch UHF off until we find out really what's going on there. But anyhow, I did test that.
Mr. Just tuned to 1.865 megahertz on AM.
Indeed, that's the case. That's where it all happens. And, of course, streaming online as we do. In fact, I'll just check the stream service is working. Yes, it is. So we've got 2 streams, I think. I haven't checked the second one, the legacy service, which sort of just hangs in there. But the main one on YouTube is back up and running, and so we can defer to that if people...
I must make sure Jamie knows about it.
Yeah. So anyone wants the full hi-fi experience, that is there. And, of course, programs are logged from that as well. It's a great system. Well, not as organised as I wanted to be, because I'd planned to sort out a few things. But we'll make it work and find some pathways. I think I might play a 20s hit. There's a record sitting here on the table, and I can't quite check what it is. I think it's Isham Jones and the orchestra with an early Irving Berlin song, I'm on my way home, if I'm guessing correctly. It's one of those Brunswicks where the label's worn off, so it's a bit of a guessing game. But anyhow, you'll give us a bell as our initiation for the evening, and then from there we'll see where the time.
This is vk3sl, I didn't announce.
And vk3sl, yes, crossband duplex between 2 metres and 160. And we are now in the groove.
Lopez speaking. Thanks to Irving Berlin, I am on my way home.
There's our 20s hit to kick off. It's a very well played, well realised performance there. It's a nice tight ensemble playing with Vincent Lopez, I think. Let's bring it up to the microphone to check and find out. Yes, it was the Keller Sisters and Lynch singing with Vincent Lopez and his Casa Lopez Orchestra.
Good.
Yeah, it's a good record. The other side's good too. I'll save it up, play it tomorrow. So, anyhow, that's got the ball rolling, and I'm starting to think about a few things. I don't know. I was going to do some preliminary research because there's some records here from the First World War era, which I don't think I have played before. One of them's with Joyce's orchestra. Now, I'll hold this up. What does it say? Vision de Mort. It's a valse played by Joyce's orchestra, personally conducted by Mr. Archibald Joyce. We'll find out who... Well, maybe I can just find it out now. Archibald Joyce, Mr. Joyce, Joyce's orchestra, Joyce's. It's on an HMV from about 1915. Orchestra. It's typical of the times, like a production. Joyce's Orchestra. Oh, they're even on Spotify. And yes, here we go. Archibald Joyce does get a Guernsey. In fact, I'm grateful to Mr. Mr. Hanna, Vintage Sounds, because he's done his due diligence and can tell us that Archibald Joyce was born in 1873 and died in 1963. An English light music composer known for his early waltzes. I think that's what this will be.
Did you say he was born in 53 and died in 63?
No, 1873.
73, sorry.
Yeah. He said he first came into prominence with the publication of his valse Songs d'Automne, 1908, which became a big hit. And goes on to talk about a number of waltzes which were very popular. What is he? Wonder where he performed. Here we go. Daily Theatre in London. This looks like it might be about 1912, this record. Thereabouts. Okay. It says the orchestra played Autumn as the RMS Titanic floundered, 1912. Oh, in fact, it could have some connection with the Titanic story, apparently.
Oh, gosh.
Okay, all right. Even if it's an oblique reference, it's an orchestra which was recording at that time. So it's just a bit of a timestamp experience. It's on an early gramophone Monarch record. And it's, I'd like to have a listen to it. Mr. Archibald Joyce and Vision d'Amour played his own composition. There we go. vk3sl testing. way back when, how beautiful was the sound of Joyce's orchestra there, lilting a valse, and very much the staple fare from that time, around about 1912. And I always enjoy listening to music from that time on one of those very heavy HMVs with a hasn't got a lip on the side, but it weighs a lot.
So I had one that had a lip. I think it was only single-sided.
Yes, a lot of the records with lips on the side were single-sided. That's right. I think you might be slightly off frequency.
I'll fix it. You carry on.
Oh, okay. No, I think you might be right now. Yeah. All right. Well, we'll just continue with another from that batch. These need to be shelved, so I better play them first. This one's the Mayfair Orchestra. Not the new Mayfair Orchestra, but the Mayfair Orchestra, which I think were a sort of studio group.
You're right. Something's happening, isn't it?
Yeah, something's a bit... something's a bit
wonky.
Yeah, I wonder what's going on.
My frequency's okay, according to my readout.
145.040. That's a bit strange, isn't it? I wonder. Yeah, okay.
That is strange. Hang on.
Oh, you're suddenly good there, but maybe it's me. Maybe it's the system. Gremlins. See, they haven't been used. What happens when you don't use it?
I've just upped the power to the max.
Oh, okay. Well, that's certainly much stronger now. And I mean, it's certainly solid.
It's stopped the problem, or at least the problem
has,
stopped.
but as long as it's not it's not going to put any duress on your system. That's the thing.
Yes, all's well anyway.
All right. Well, if it's working at the moment, that's okay. We'll
keep going and see what happens.
Yeah, keep an ear to things. Yeah. So anyhow, we have the new not the new Mayfair, the Mayfair Orchestra from around about the same time. These are records before the First World War. And this one is Zigzag. Now, Zigzag was a show that ran at the Hippodrome, I think. Yes, London Hippodrome during World War One, so a little bit later. Interesting here, that does have an Australian connection, because the review opened starring George Roby and but also Daphne Pollard. Now, Daphne Pollard was a part of the Lilliputian troupe that did a number of trips, like a children's theatre group in Melbourne. Actually, it's quite a story, the story of the Lilliputians, the Pollards and Lilliputians. They were, I think, about 30 or 40 kids, and they were sort of rounded up by this Mr. and Mrs. Pollard, who took them under their wing, and they did all sorts of variety programs. They're sort of exploited, really. It's a bit of a sad story. These are kids in Melbourne who came from impoverished backgrounds, and the families were sort of paid a bit, and the kids went off on extended tours.
Yeah.
You can imagine what that was like, and it all ended up in scandal, actually. It was quite a horrible story in the end, because some kids were taken advantage of, as you can imagine.
Oh, God, almost inevitable.
Yeah, it is, and sadly, bad things happened. But a number of them took the name Pollard later in life, including Daphne. As I say, tell us here who Daphne's real name was. I'll see if I can find out. Yeah, Daphne Trott was her original name.
Yes.
Yes, and most of these kids came from Fitzroy. And she was born in Fitzroy to William and Annie Trott. And she joined the Pollard Lilliputian Opera Company at the age of 6. Now, so young.
I worked with a girl named, she was Diane Trott.
Oh, really? Well, probably a relation.
I would suspect so. There wouldn't be a lot of Trott.
No, you would not think so. That's right. Anyhow, she took the stage name from the Pollard Company, and she had this big career, and she did lots of things. Another Pollard was Snub Pollard, Harry Pollard, from different background, but also joined the troupe, and he became a really well-known silent film actor. And he featured on a lot of Harold Lloyd's early films, and I think on some of Laurel and Hardy's work for Max Sennett. And was, in fact, I think he made more films at the end than anyone in history, because he sort of worked as a bit part even after the talkies came in. And I think he made well over 1,000 films.
My God.
Did Harry Pollard. But it's funny, while we're at Inverloch, I was watching silent films with the kids, and we watched quite a few of Harry Pollard's films. So there's another Pollard. But I digress, because we're just referring to Daphne Pollard, who was in the original production of Zigzag, as it featured during the First World War. So we've got that recording here. I don't know if she's on it, but she was a part of the scene. So it's got a number of songs, double side of a 12-inch record, and we'll play this. It's Zigzag Selection, Mayfair Orchestra on an old HMV. I'm vk3sl.